All right, welcome to Module 4. So our objective this week in Module 4 is to really prepare ourselves for design. And there's a lot of work behind the scenes that we have to do before we get to do the fun stuff, which is essentially really understanding the opportunity, understanding it from the client's perspective, understanding it from the user's perspective, understanding the context or climate for this product or web page. So looking at our competition, any existing user experience research, we need to review that, fully understand any opportunities uncovered there or conducted ourselves. Thankfully for us, we have the fall user experience research class to draw from and the documents that they created. And I'll post some of those that were peer written. That will help us understand this research. In the real world, we would just need to take more time to gather the information that is needed. And so that's what our objective in this module is. We want to fully understand this opportunity and have a sense, each group should have an idea of where they want to go with their design moving forward. And then we will actually begin ideating, sketching, wireframing next week. So kind of keep that in mind as you move through this module. The module kicks off with the client interview right away. The first day this module is open. And then the content itself, most of the content, the first 2/3 of it is going to move you through understanding the research, understanding the design opportunities, both individually and as a group. And there is some coordinating and timing that needs to happen this week. So I'm going to discuss that just right now so that you guys can be thinking about that and planning your week accordingly. And then at the end of the module, we're going to finish up with information architecture conversation from last week by revisiting that and looking specifically at form design. Since we use forms so much and users hate using them, but we need them to use them often. So the last third of this module will be on form design, research-backed tips on how to create forms, and an individual form redesign activity. So with that being said, let me just give you a quick overview here. So basic understanding the design process conversation, some of that may be review for you. I'm not sure if it was covered in UX research or not, probably not. So make sure to spend some time there just in case. We're going to talk about expert reviews, UX audits, and competitor audits and how we use them. We use them at very different stages and sometimes repeat them throughout the design process. Some are exclusively, nothing's exclusive, but oftentimes seen at the beginning of the design process. Some are seen more after like a product is out, like an expert review. But you can do them at any time. And so we talk about what those are. Some reading. My computer's a little laggy, so I'm sorry there isn't a smooth movement going on here with our scrolling. And then the very first assignment that we have here is actually a review of the Data Hub. So this is where you guys in your groups are going to review the existing Data Hub and just sort of look for usability issues that you notice just as UX experts. And I know that you're all UX experts in training, but a lot of you, all of you have great intuition. And a lot of you really have artistic opinions and skills that you bring to this, and everyone has something to offer. So however you approach this, review the Data Hub, review the pages with your natural intuitive skills and see what you don't like. Just, and some of you may have familiarity with the site. Some of you may not. I'm not sure if everybody's been in UX research. I don't think so. So try to look at this with fresh eyes, even if you're coming into it having seen it before, and just think about yourself as a user. And I know we're not designing for ourselves as users, but sometimes these expert reviews can give us quite a bit of valuable information anyways, even if we aren't the target user. So that is essentially what that is about. Everybody will individually do a landscape analysis worksheet, which is looking at, it's kind of like a competitor audit. We don't really have competitors for this product, but we do have a landscape that we can analyze. And you may have done some of this in UX research. Again, this is an activity that hopefully it's new for everybody, and will get us all on the same page, but everyone will pick a Data Hub from the worksheet. So when you actually go to this assignment, it's going to have a worksheet, and you'll have 6 different data hubs to choose from that are similar to PPORA, so that you can kind of just see what else is out there. And now that you've looked at PPORA, right, you've already done that, then you're ready to look at some other ideas, and that will just kind of get you thinking. And you will eventually share your findings of looking at another data hub in group context later, and you will revisit it in your journal this week. So I highly recommend that you do this landscape analysis like right away at the beginning of the week. And you do need to just send messages to each other in your group to see like who's going to do what. Like, are you going to do the 14ers page? Like, who's doing this page? Because I prefer that you all in the group look at a different data hub, especially since there's 6 of them. So sort of coordinate who's going to do what at the beginning of the week there, and then you'll revisit this in a group assignment later. So at this point, you have looked at a competitor, you have reviewed the PPORA page, looking at it as an expert, and then I do ask you individually to reflect on what you learned by looking at that other data hub or competitor page, info heavy page. And so I walk you through your journal activity this week is on that, complete individually. It is a little bit more structured journal. And so, I mean, just prepare yourself for that. And it needs just a little bit more from you than straight reflection. Okay, and then we get into reviewing the UX research. So these are 6 reports shared with me by Brandon from fall. And so I'm going to ask that you guys divvy up in your group the work of going through these reports. Everybody should read all of them. And you have a link here and in the instruction details on the prototype redesign that Eden Love, our client liaison and UX intern who will be meeting with in our client interview, she's already started a prototype redesign of that main page on the data hub. And so you'll be reviewing that. You'll be reviewing the reports. Some of the reports looked at the prototype. Some of the reports looked at the whole data hub and the 5 link pages. Some of the reports just looked at an individual page. From my understanding, the UX research assignment had a lot of like choose your own adventure options there. And so our research is not like totally comprehensive in that we have something for everything, but we have a lot to draw from. And so it's incredibly important at this point that you guys fully understand what was tested, what issues came up, what design suggestions are presented from the UX research, and you've had a chance to look at the prototype. And so you guys will get together as a group, and this is a bigger document, and so you'll want to have done everything else that we just went over prior to getting together. So do coordinate appropriately, and you're going to create this like synthesis document, and I walk you through it in the assignment instructions, and like you're going to give me a persona. It can come from a report or you can create one, but I want you to show me that you understand the user. You're going to talk about what are the design opportunities, what did you learn from the landscape review you did individually with that worksheet, what did you get from looking at the prototype, from looking at the data hub. It's sort of like a synthesis document of everything that you've done in the module up until this point. It is worth a little bit more points as well. And so just know that all the work in this module has to be done by everybody individually prior to you guys getting together to do this synthesis and review document. So please plan accordingly. I might make an announcement in the client interview as well. And then just sort of, I'm trying like to use Perusall for a video, which from Nielsen Norman. And so just as kind of like a test it out and see how annotating a video goes with you guys. I made it really chill. It's only worth like 6 points. It's 3 annotations. It's less than a 4-minute video. So just using Perusall to annotate different parts in this video, and I give you some directions on what I'm looking for. And then I'm just really curious if you guys, how this goes for you, because I've never used it for a video, and I'm like tempted to use it for podcasts and all sorts of things. So kind of a test run. Okay, so this is the form design section, and it is long in that it has a lot of examples with discussion in between and some additional readings. And this is all done individually. Form design is done totally individually. And then when you get to the bottom of this, I talk about some form tips, user fear in forms, and then there's an activity. Oh, I don't know, it's not scrolling like really laggy. There it is. And a reading on microcopy and then form redesign. So you'll take a really bad form, it truly exists in the world or existed, and you're going to take and redesign that, but you're going to do it on paper and pencil, because I want you guys to be getting comfortable with sketching. Like, there's a lot of value in putting pencil to paper when it comes to just iterating and brainstorming ideas. And next week, when you're actually doing that, there will be a like brainstorm session as part of module 5 in the beginning, and then you'll be ideating. I'm going to encourage, and sketching, I'm going to be encouraging you to do that on paper with a pencil, because then you don't become like attached to your ideas. Designers tend to get attached to their ideas, but really good designers are flexible. They're willing to like throw it all away, especially if they get valuable feedback from a design team or, you know, the users. And so sketching on paper is going to make you like open to changing it, scrapping it, doing something different, being extremely creative. And that's where really good design comes from, is sort of just being able to play a little bit. I mean, of course, we want to lean into those existing mental models and those psychology-based principles we've been learning about, of course. But good design, innovative design, does push boundaries a little bit but it does it in a way where it doesn't make users totally uncomfortable. And so you're kind of like walking the line there. So in order to go to that edge, you need to be flexible, and pencil to paper provides the opportunity for that flexibility. So form redesign is paper and pencil, and then you take a picture of it as your submission, and then just be prepared to play a little bit more with paper and pencil next week. And that is it for module 4. It's not, I don't know, I feel like maybe it's not quite as heavy as the last couple modules, but it's because I really wanted to give you guys time to spend time with the research, spend time with the website, with PPRA's site and all those 5 linked pages, spend time on that prototype, you know, spend time looking at the competitors or analyzing the landscape, meet with your group, talk about it. Where do you guys want to go? How are you going to redesign this? Like, are you going to just play off of that prototype and improve it this way? Do you want to scrap the prototype? I mean, it's totally up to you where you go. Are you going to create like some boilerplate structure for the pages, and then you're going to use that for all 5 pages? You know, and I want you to like be able to talk about this client interview that you're going to attend, and the branding there, and any limitations imposed on you, and any opportunities. And so it's more about just spending time talking to each other, reviewing all of these resources, getting clarity. After you go through all of this, you know, by all means, I'm in the 11 to noon meeting next Wednesday too, or email me. We can do a different time. I'm happy to meet with you guys and answer any questions. But hopefully there's enough resources here to really get you comfortable so we can start designing next week. All right, I will see you in that client interview.